Hey guys, sorry. Just as I started to come on, my dog decides to be loud. This is gonna be really quick. I've got to go to my mom's today, but I just wanted to come here and talk a little bit about Jay being found, and information I can remember from the reading that may fit. Okay, Eli's not here, but I'll let him know. Yeah, they just announced a guy for vice president. I think he may end up being our president eventually one day. I don't know. That's the way Spirit made me feel. I don't know if it's right or not. I don't like to make those predictions. Yeah, so hit the thumbs up as you guys come in. So I literally just woke up. So my brain probably isn't working correctly. So I don't have anything really prepared other than what I was seeing so far, and going back to the very first reading, right? Why is there we go. The very first reading, where the accident was there, and I know that water came in, but there could just be again, place where water can gather if it's like a gorge or anything like that happens when it rains. The helicopter that came in, yes, I think that they had already searched this area, but I think that the helicopter I was hearing was because that's how they were going to pull him up. I remember I'd like to know exactly when he was found, because the 14th came in really strong, but then the 15th came in the world events Autowrites saying something big was going to happen. Now today is a huge astrological thing going on. We have the Mars Uranus conjunction, but also Agile conjunction. It's like a really kind of volatile day, but it's just interesting that he was found. I don't know if it's the 14th or 15th that they found him, but my heart and prayers go out to the family and friends of Jay. I didn't feel there was any sort of conspiracy. Did I feel like he was not into certain things? I feel like he was, but yeah, it can add why people are acting crazy. So I know they said the 15th, but that's when it was reported. I just don't know if he was actually found the 15th or the 14th. Okay. But the 14th, the search party came in, correct? Because I saw I knew they were going to find him whenever they were bringing that search party, and they said, we're just going to listen to our dogs. So I mean, I had a feeling, but I know it was released really early in the morning on the 15th. So I'm just wondering if the search party came in the 14th, which seemed to really highlight, and then the Autowrites said 15th. This makes sense as to why I felt like I was falling off a cliff. I hate to say that, but I seen that over and over, and I was like, do I put this out? I posted it on the community page. And then when I did the reading, I have to say, Spirit is amazing. My guides are amazing, but Jay was really good in describing what he went through, where he was, all of that. So I always attain all of this but they were coming in that day, correct? Because I felt like this was like in the original reading, I think I was getting within a 5-mile radius. And so they'll give me radius. It doesn't mean exactly 5 miles. I always tell people it's like a radius. And I can't really tell my pendulum pings to where he was at. Really, because I pendulums, they're not going to be exact, right? But they can get us close. So, okay. Yeah, I know they're using their helicopter to lift him out. So they were there with the helicopter. If that makes sense, things had to happen in the way that they had to happen in, if that makes sense. So that's why the 14th was mentioned, I feel very strongly, and then the 15th coming up. Yeah, and there was so many conspiracies on this. I was very proud of myself for sticking to what Spirit was giving me and not letting my mind overtake, because I think a lot of reason is why a lot of psychic mediums will go off on conspiracies and in other directions is because they're letting their mind take over from what they're seeing on social media. So that's why I try to sort of stay away from the social media and try to, like, yes, I was seeing things, but I was like, no, that's not what I'm getting. That's why I always tell people, like, they were, even though I asked them not to post what they thought in the comments as far as like the boats and the conspiracies, because this is what Jay was giving, they did it anyways. They're like, he got on a boat, and I'm like, no, he didn't. No, he didn't, people. Like, for reals. You know, I mean, he was literally seen walking, and everybody said, oh, they paid that person. No, they didn't. I don't think, I just think he went up there to party, and he happened to be with shady dudes, you know? I don't know what that means. Spain one, so they keep it. Yeah, and so, and sometimes it's really hard for me to follow along, right? But for like, since the beginning, I've seen, I hate to say this, I saw him falling off a cliff. I just couldn't tell if it was like an ocean cliff or a regular cliff. But that's why in the reading it was like he's somewhere where they can't see him. He's fallen in like a ravine or something like that. And I think water does, I think it was supposed to rain there today. I was watching the Sky News before I went to sleep, and it was saying it was going to rain. So that was another thing that came in about the rain. And it can be an area, like, whenever you get water, like, not water all the time, but sometimes, you know, those areas where like water kind of gives you, or, you know, where like ravines and stuff, where like when it rains, like water can build up, like it can be that, like, that's kind of, or there could have been water very close by. He was pretty good and giving accurate, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know exactly how this map was hard because it's Spain. But it's interesting. The first ping was the Santiago, and I didn't know that he was missing from, I mean, I didn't know he was seen there. I was very pulled to that place, and now I know why. Is because his energy was there, and that's just kind of an example of how I can feel energy and how the pendulum can pick up on where he was as well. So then, you know, we got further down to where this last Porteles, but I wanted to circle a big area because maps are hard. Like, they just are, and they're hard to like exactly pinpoint. Like, we can get within in miles. But the 5 mile radius seemed like it was important. It was a radius, the way that it comes in. It wasn't like 5 and 10 miles. It was like I went up almost 5 miles, and then you need to do like a radius. Because he wasn't being seen, the way that he had fallen and the way that he was like kind of hiding, like he wasn't, and I kept getting like rocky stuff. And so whenever they reference cases to me, like, a lot of people were bitching, complaining about the Autowrite and how I said things I said in the beginning. For one, I wasn't apologizing to anybody, but for two, I was giving what spirit was giving me. I always do that. If they want to be adamant about something because they know people are going to come in the comments and be like, no, it's a conspiracy, like, they are trying to prove their point, like, no, this is the way that it is. And so I always am guided to say things that I say. There's no conspiracy behind this. Straight up, he'd been drinking all night. He was probably, you know, still high, still hungover. Everybody can lose their footing. Shit, I fall in the yard in holes. So, you know, I don't find it that strange myself. In my opinion. He showed me he was off alone. And he just was not feeling right, and I think he lost his footing, and that was it. And because I kept feeling like his sleep was like his feet were slipping. Well, yeah, and I said that, but the day before that came out, it came in the reading that his feet were slipping, and I was stumbling, right? And everybody's like, "Oh, well, it wasn't dark," but I'm seeing it like that. It could have been he's stumbling at any time, but he's trying to show me like I'm stumbling. So I'm thinking, you know, when you're dehydrated from drinking, when you've been doing other substances, allegedly, you know, you're out partying, and then you get up and you go walk this crazy terrain, something's bad is going to happen. I think that he had it in his mind, like he could make it, he could find his way home. And unfortunately, he just had like a horrible accident, which the accident came in the card twice. So, in it, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I almost had an accident in the yard. You know, and I think it was just before this energy, because we do have shadow periods before the astrological stuff. So this Mars Uranus conjunction that's going on for like a week, after that is an accidental type thing. So be careful out there, because it can cause accidents. I mean, it kind of caused one with me yesterday, and it's happening in my 4th house around the home. So she was telling me that the Aggle or whatever is conjuncting it today. And I said, I'm staying home. She's like, no, you need to leave because it's in your home space. But you might get an argument with your mom. So tempers can be high as well, things like that. So that's something, you know, we have to take into consideration. But you know, I always say spirit was the one that was accurate. Yeah, exactly. I can trip and fall over like nothing, my own damn feet. Yeah, I know. And that's what I'm saying. Like you've just been out partying all night and you're in this crazy terrain. Unfortunately, something bad is going to happen because he didn't stay on the trail. And I'm wondering how far off a hiking trail this was, or if it was like in an area where people hike close by because of the hiking sign I was getting. Yeah. Well, I mean, he wasn't thinking straight. He just partied all night. Who thinks straight when they party all night? I don't. He should have never left yet, but I think he was stressed out or he was fearful. And that came in the reading. Like, I got to get out of here. I got to leave. So it was that type of, you know, I'm trying to get out and leave this situation because I don't feel like I want to be here anymore. When I'm partying, it's fine and everything. You know what I mean? But then you realize you're with some sketchy people and you want to go for whatever reason. So it's morning here. Well, afternoon. Yeah, exactly. So you don't know like what's going on in the body. Yes, he's young, but there's young people that have things all the time. I mean, he could have had a heart attack and fell, like anything. Like my chest was literally hurting during that reading. But the one thing I did keep seeing was him falling off a cliff, and I posted on the community page. I'm like, I don't know if it's like ocean cliff or regular cliff because I only see the top part of the cliff. I just know that it's very very rocky, right? I mean, he could have. He was like, it came out, he said, allegedly, in the reading that he was doing bumps. Turns out the guy sells that kind of narcotic. So it's definitely, he wanted to continue the party going, and this stuff takes a while to leave your system. So, yes, he was in fear and intoxicated. Correct. And under the influence of other things, I feel. Oh, that's you, Candace. Okay, I gotta go on my YouTube on here and do it. So I don't think I can do it from StreamYards. Yeah, I can't do it from StreamYards. I can only ban people. So you have to give me a minute. I have to go on here really quick and do it. Yeah, I'm just doing a really quick live before I have to go to Mom's. I wanted to do it this morning, but there wasn't a lot out about where he was found. Someone said that was S-shaped. I'm thinking this was in 5 miles of where he was last known to be, right? Because I said he's kind of close to where he last was supposed to be. And he's not far from the ping. Let's see if I can even pull it up. Sometimes I don't. Oh, here we go. Okay, you're done. Well, I always say that it's spirit that's accurate. I'm just perceiving and relating the information correctly. And I try not to let my brain get ahead of me. That's why when everybody's like, well, why are you second guessing? Why? It's because I'm trying to make sure my brain is not taking me down another another path, because when information comes in, it can very much feel like your own thoughts. And if you don't have your mind in check, if you have your own thoughts about it, then you can go off on these conspiracy tangents. But this one, when they kept telling me it's like Kylie, it's like Kylie, it's like Kylie, and I kept saying that in the Autowrite prior, it's because they were relating that case. Not that it was like a car in the water, but that there was so many conspiracies and it was just a tragic accident. So Spirit will relay that stuff to me. I do work really hard on my cases. Thank you for recognizing that. I do work really hard, and I do struggle with things getting attention. And I know it's because I don't post a lot and stuff, but it's hard. Like, people don't understand, like, this is a very, very draining work. So it's hard to post things all the time. I really had to force myself to do Jay's reading, but it was like on my mind, like, you got to do it, you got to do it, you got to do it. So no differently than, you know, the Autowrite. I knew I had to do it. Like, I was being pushed to do it. So everything has its timing and how that I do it. And then they have that vice president that was elected on how I described. So, or I mean, that's being picked for how I described. So I did see him. That's why I'm saying, like, whenever I post things, it's interesting. Like, I just did this reading and then Jay's found. You know what I mean? So that's why I say whenever I tap back into a case, it's usually something's coming up with it. So Kelly, you're added. Yeah, it is hard to analyze a lot. Exactly. Like, and sometimes things come in and you're like, well, that doesn't make sense, but is that my mind? Like with Caleb, it was crazy. I still don't know if I've gotten that information correct, but I can only give what Spirit gives. If that's what they're giving and showing, then that's what they're giving and showing. And I was really proud of myself because I didn't really look at the astrology on this yet. We were going to, and something came up. She got sick, and so we didn't. But I looked at the chart myself to validate myself, and it was like, okay, we got Pluto in the descendant. I think it was Pluto in Aquarius, and then we have Mars in the 10th house, and that's like accident stuff. So it validated for me, and I don't even know astrology that well, and I was like, I'm proud of myself for one, for listening, but it is an Aquarius thing to second guess and to think, because you have to think that we are okay, so Aquarius are very logical, right? And then we're also always thinking. So we could think ourselves out of something. But when the information's coming in, we got to make sure we're perceiving it. That's why I like Autowrites, because I'm very focused and I don't tend to let anything sway me off of anything. Like, sitting with a sitter is great, but I noticed going back, sometimes my sitters can not purposely lead me off trail by, you know, giving certain information that maybe they found that isn't accurate or whatever. If I don't really have anything to make me go another direction and I'm just really focused on a deep channel, then I seem to get the best information. Of course, it makes it confusing when interconnects come in, but Jay's was very focused in that way. There wasn't really a lot to interconnect with it. So, you know, I'm always going to have the tendencies to doubt because I'm just a human and I'm just connecting to another vibration, and I'm just trying to trust what I'm being given. And then you have these people, everybody in the audience, you don't want to give wrong information. You don't want to lead on wild goose chases. So that's why I have a tendency to self-doubt, because I never want to give wrong information. I never want to misunderstand the information that's given to me. But when he kept showing me, I kept trying to see something nefarious and I just couldn't see it. Like, it was like, no, this is how it is. You know, I'm off by myself and something happens. No, you're here now. I do private readings, yes, but I'm only doing Wednesdays now. I don't know if that's going to change, if I'm going to continue, because it's really hard for me to do a lot of private readings and then do cases. And I'm really trying to bump up my social media and go where I'm being led to go. But so I cut down my private readings to one day. That may change in October timeframe. I might bring another day, and I'm not sure. It depends on if I can get things going or not. But you are welcome in Linktree in the description box below. You can also find the Linktree on my bio for YouTube. Like, if you clicked on my you click on my picture, it'll take you, and there's a link at the top. But everything's always in the description box on how to reach me and all of that. And the Linktree has all my links in it. So yeah, you can go that way. Well, Yeah, no, I wasn't. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm just learning astrology, and I didn't get to go over it with my friend that always is helping me, but I learned enough to recognize that. And I'm like, okay, this could definitely be an accident because I'm getting this in the cards, I'm getting this in the astrology. And then when I did the auto write, it was like I was only to take this direction. Like I kept trying to see him at the home. He's like, no, I left. I walked. This is where I am. And he was by himself. Like he kept showing me that. Like I'm out here by myself. And I don't know if he really took off his shirt at one point or if he was just saying he was hot. You know, I don't know. Um, it is a lot of pressure because like I was saying in my live on TikTok, like people always remember when you're wrong and they don't remember all the times you're right. And so, you know, and I think this was probably a really close hit on the pendulum for being very new at it. By getting the Santiago place and not knowing he was there and being pulled to that area, which is what I tell you guys, like I'm pulled to areas where they were, not always where they'll be found. It's very confusing for me. Because they don't know why I'm pulled to areas until it comes out. And then I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense now, like yesterday. And then you know, and then the pendulum kind of hit a little bit further down later, closer to where he was last seen. So I think I was pretty close with the pendulum at least. I don't know about that, Mickey. That's a lot of pressure. People always tell me that, and I'm like, I don't know, because I don't find a lot of people, honestly. Like the timing is what causes it to happen. But I just felt like if they would kind of comb back over and look in like crevices and stuff, it just makes me wonder if one of these police like saw my reading and were like, okay, we need to look down in crevices or something. You know, I don't know. I'll never know. But it's interesting that all of a sudden they're looking, you know, in those places. Um, Yeah, I do privates. So just make sure you read the description box when you schedule and all of that. And honestly, I'm in need of privates right now because that's what's sustaining me. So, and if Wednesday doesn't work for you, like you can message me and we can work something out. I have a, you know what I mean? I have an open schedule where I'm just kind of trying to grow my TikTok and my YouTube, and I need to get some stuff on Patreon. So, oh, okay, Eli. Well, thank you for joining. Yeah, and Lizzie last night, she was like, man, I can't wait to do the validation on this because she's like, everybody, she was reading in groups that there was all these conspiracies and stuff going on, you know, and she was just like, and that's not what happened. I never heard anything back from her, so I don't know. um I mean, I don't know. I never heard anything back, so I'm guessing not. Yes, it's very sad. And but I was supposed to work this case. Do you guys see the interconnects? I got Duncan. I don't remember what reading it was. I can't remember if it was Caleb or Rachel or someone else, but it was. I remember I was like Duncan and not Dunkin' Donuts. Well, that's his mom's last name. So that's what I mean. Like one case leads me to another. And the weird thing was I wasn't even really like drawn to this case. It was almost like I had to be brought in at the time I was supposed to be brought into it. Like they wanted the energy to kind of relax for a little bit after it first started. Um, Thank you. I mean, where Jay, I mean, if you go and watch Jay's reading and see what happened, I mean, I'm wondering, you know, the timing is interesting. I'll never know. I mean, I think that that's happened a few times. Thank you, Annie, very much. I appreciate that. That means so much to me. Um, just remember when if you guys wanted to donations, they don't take 50% of donations. They do. They take a big percentage on YouTube. Thank you so much, Annie. That's very much appreciated. I wish I could do like a sound on here, like I don't know. I can't figure it out. I think there's a way to do it, but um it's like music, like uh Yeah. It's more like music, not background music. Yeah, I'd like to know, you know what? We can probably Google that and see. Oh, thank you for gifting a membership. It's very sweet. Yeah, everything's in my link tree. I'm not doing like questions right now, but thanks, Amy. Yeah, it's only because I just got up. I'm like, I need to do a live real quick before I go to my mom's. I knew it was because his Saturn was in his 8th house. And then he had some Cancer in his 12th house. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you're going to do like any type of readings on this, like try to stay away from like videos on social media because it will make your mind change things for you. What was I looking at? I was going to see how far he was. How far was Jay from where he went? Alexa probably wouldn't even know.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
I know you don't. Shh! Stop. Sorry. They're barking at my dog laying by the fan outside. Hey! Hey! Duke, stop. You're teaching him bad things. Justice, stop. Justice, stop. Knock it off. I'm trying to see how many miles. How. Hey, you stop. I know, but I'm trying to see where, which makes sense. That's what the reading said. It wasn't far from where things went off. It says that the Spanish rescue team found them. So I know you said the police did. Hold on one second. That would be Sebastian. We don't know if it's gonna retrograde back that far for Sebastian, and that's water. That's stop it, Zeus. Jesus, you guys. She's been around here for 2 years. Give me a break. Dogs are ridiculous during the day, so I don't do anything. That's what I'm trying to see, though. It says the Spanish rescue team found him. It doesn't say anything about the police. I just want to know how far. If anybody can tell me how far he was from his mobile phone, from where he pinged at. Because I know I got that he was really close from where he was last known at, and then okay. So his first 3 calls pinging were 4.5 miles away from the Security Square Mall. So that would put him within 5 miles of where he was last seen. If I'm reading that right. Oh, Annie, you didn't have to do that. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the tips. I appreciate it. I can't find, like, I'm having a hard time, finding out, like, where he was versus my pick, because the map that they showed, look, I'll show you guys. Okay. Okay. So this is where they're saying he was found. I think I circled this area right here. This map is confusing because it's farther away. There's nothing around to like show what it's close to. And I felt like it was inaccessible. Like that's why I felt like he was being missed. They couldn't see him. And then this is where I had circled, but I had circled it big so I'm guessing he was like over here somewhere. It's what it looks like. Which this is a hiking trail or something, or there's a hiking trail thing right here. I was kind of pulled to this area, actually, this one right here. So I think it's pretty close. I was pulled between both of these areas right here when I was doing the map. The map triangulated this, but I wanted to go to this one. So I think this is closer over here. So my feelings are right if I just knew to understand to follow that. Well, it was like the way that Spirit had me do it was a 5-mile radius, or 5 miles up, and then like a 10-mile radius, like you would circle, if that makes sense. Like you go 5 miles one way, and then he took another direction off the trail, and then you need to do like a 10-mile radius. Not that he's 10 miles, but that the radius, that's what the radius needed to be. That's kind of what they were telling me in the reading. And so I'm having a hard time like finding it. Okay, that makes sense because I kept seeing like that walking stick guy. So I guess that's now my symbol for like hiking trail. It never was before, but they showed it to me like the ones that you see on the map. And so I'm wondering if it was by that 51 hiking trail thing that's right there. Because and then like I kept wanting to go towards the ocean, so that I'm guessing that's the direction they wanted to take me. So that I started second guessing that. So yeah, I should have listened to myself because I was kind of pulled between that other hiking trail. And that's going towards the ocean. So I'm guessing when they gave me the ocean stuff, it was like you need to go in that direction, like towards the water, but like the hiking trail. So that makes sense. I'm guessing this map makes more sense. So yeah, I'm guessing it was down here, right? By this TF51. Because that's kind of like the direction I should have went. My pendulum came here though, so that's why I was like, I don't know. But yeah, I should have listened to myself because this was kind of where I was drawn over here. So I learned something from every case. You know, it's hard to get pinpoint. Like I think this is one of my most accurate readings. It's very hard to get like just the pinpoint. Excuse you. I know, but it's the pulling on the maps I don't understand because like I said, I was pulled to the Santiago area. I didn't know why. It's because he was there, but he wasn't going to be found there. It's very hard. It's not like anything slaps me in the head and says, "Oh yeah, this is the spot." It's just a feeling. So I'm trying to interpret those feelings and feel the pulls and understand the pulls. So yeah, Neo. It's just my location is really not great, And I always tell people that because I can't differentiate how I'm feeling or where I'm being pulled to. It's very hard because, again, I can get pulled in different directions. Yeah, I think the Soto case was accurate, but I got to that one kind of late. Zook! Come on, dude. You're ridiculous. He always barks at her. I don't understand it. He even goes, like, when he climbs the fence, he goes and hangs out with her, but he's just ridiculous. Yeah, so there's, I mean, that came into, like, I felt like he left, like, in a hurry and stuff like that. So, you know, he probably took stuff from these guys and left. Like, it's just he unfortunately put himself in a bad situation, you know, and he's young, and they do that, you know. That's the part of growing up and learning things. I think we've all put ourselves in bad situations at one point or another, not the same situation. Yeah, I will never exploit cases. I just like to put the information out because, look, my goal here is to find the missing or help give them a voice. That's my goal, in whatever way that happens. And yes, I get down on myself when I get wrong, or I get it wrong, or I don't get it exact. But people have to also remember, like, I'm just a human. Like, I'm just a human. I'm not, like, I always say, I'm not a mystical being that knows everything. Yeah, that's Neo. He's trying to make sure everybody sees his butt, as always. If you guys ever watch the cat guy, he always says that when they put the butt in the face, like, that means they like you. So he likes everybody because he always puts his butt on screen. Neo, get out of here, bud. No. Oh, goodness gracious. I love you, but you're messing up my good thing that one was empty. You're messing up my mic here. So I'm sweating. So yeah. He always has to come up with his butt on camera. He does the same on TikTok. I don't know. He likes to be in the energy. And you know, I'm trying to also, like, eventually do local cases if I can get this dog trained. Like, that's our plan. That's my plan with Steven. He said go ahead and talk about it because we've already mentioned it on the lives. So hopefully, like, that's been a dream for a really long time, and hopefully that'll work out. Time will tell. He's very smart. He just started being, like, cuddly. Hey, leave him alone. He listens very well. Hey, no. Yeah, in the winter, dude, I get kept warm by my cats. That's for sure. But I'm not gonna stay on here much longer because I gotta go. I gotta go to my mom. She's probably gonna be mad. Yeah, he could have been in the marine darker or in the ravine darker. That's what I'm saying. Like, it was very rocky and stuff. But I mean, maybe to him it was dark. Maybe it was just a dark situation. Maybe you know what I mean? Like, he was stumbling obviously the night before, right? So that stumbling can be any time. A lot of stuff happened when it was night. So I always say that I'm not meant to solve anything. I leave that to the police or whoever. I feel like I just need to I just try to give the input to help solve it. So big time man. Yeah. And a lot of people were ridiculous with saying, "Oh, we have Jay," and it was just, you know, he had I think I want to say that Pluto was like at 29 degrees, or he had some 29 degrees was like a fame degree, which makes sense. I think Neptune was at 29, which would be like substances and stuff like that. And it just retrograded, so that's probably why he's been found. Only found in the Mask area where close. I know that's not help. That's all I can find too. I'm thinking it's that hiking trail right there. Because on the map that it looks on that side, so it is towards the ocean. So that would be my reference as I'm going towards the water. I'm going towards the ocean. I can hear the seagulls, so that would put me on going that way. Hey Lizzie, you're late. I'm getting ready to get off here soon. Yeah. Well, that's retrograde in Pisces. So, like, I made a whole video on that. Like, so depends on what it's gonna retrograde back to, as far as like, people being found in water and stuff like that. Probably when it retrogrades back and goes normal, we're gonna get a lot of bodies pop up. But so I don't know what you mean, Angela. But I'm just wondering if, because it went into Neptune and went into retrograde, if that's partly. I don't know if it's still in retrograde right now, though. Hey, leave that box alone. Justice, leave that box alone. Hey, good boy. Good boy. He listens usually the first time. That's okay, girl. I'm just giving you shit. Yeah, that's why I'm thinking I heard the helicopters. I don't know if you guys remember in the Autowrites I was hearing the helicopters. I'm thinking the helicopters were not only because they had probably already circled that area, but because they were going to have to bring them out with it. So if you go back to the reading and you put the puzzle pieces together, I think it's pretty accurate. Between the first reading and this reading, I think it is. And I bet you, like, water does. I bet you there's a water really close to there, or there's water, like, when it rains, it might get, it might fill up with water or get water in there when it rains. So that looks like it's close to the water on the map. But this map it doesn't show like any, like, what do you call it? Yeah, I got it, Candace, but it still doesn't like show like the hiking trails and stuff. Like, I need a map like I was looking on to see. Yeah, this one was pretty accurate. And I was like stressed out about this, but I have to say this reading did not drive me crazy as much as all the other readings do. This one I was like pretty confident because of how adamant they were and what he was showing me was so clear, because I almost stopped and I was like, well, wait, is this right? And then he started giving me more. And so I continued on with it, and he just gave me a lot to suggest he was by himself and how he felt and whatnot. So it was really all him, and I'm just glad I perceived it correctly, and I'm glad that I didn't let my mind interfere and go along with what the internet was saying. I was getting really frustrated with all the conspiracy theories. I didn't do that because it's like, you guys don't understand, when I see these conspiracy theory things, and then I'm like, no, I got this. For one, it makes me question, and then I'm like, eh. And then for two, it's like, but that's not what Spirit's saying. Shut up. And I get out of it. So it kind of makes me bad. Like, I'm like, no, that's not what happened. And if we even go back to the cards were crazy accurate. It said accident twice. I pulled the accident card twice. Well, I just talked about that. I do believe in myself, but it's very hard to differentiate sometimes, like what you're getting and whatnot. Yeah, I'm just wondering if, like, it would ever get water in there, you know what I mean? You know how, like, ravines and stuff, like, when it rains, it gets water, but it was supposed to rain today, and they showed me rain, so I thought that was weird. I appreciate that. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's good to know. I just got the chills, Miss B. I didn't know that, but he was like that's what he said, like he was winging it. So that makes me that makes sense that he would say something like that. So I appreciate you telling me that because that's very validating. I've done readings where people will be like, "You sounded just like him." So I know. Uh That's what I mean, like crevices that funnel rain down. Yes, that's what I mean. So at some point, maybe if it rained, like he would be in water, if that makes sense. Yeah. Hey, Jody, welcome. I always say I'm not gonna be on long, and then I'm on like an hour. My mom's probably gonna be like, Risha, where are you? I was gonna go yesterday, and then I was like, I better go. I was good thing I didn't go yesterday because I had that whole thing happen, and I got really it wasted like 2 hours. So that was really a horrible experience. But that just shows you like accidents, like it's in my fourth house, so accidents around the house. So I got to be really careful with that Mars Uranus because it already caused an accident yesterday. It wasn't even a big accident, it just made my like shock my body. And I just thank God it was hot. It wasn't like hot like it is today. Like it was cloudy and stuff, and because I could have never laid on the ground in the heat like it is now. But it wasn't that hot yesterday. It was nice and cloudy, and the ground was cool. Thank God. Yes, I agree to a point, but sometimes you have to understand that people are going to do what they're going to do. Like no matter what, I've had situations where I've tried to get my friends to stay by me and they're leaving. You know what I mean? So people can be stubborn and hard-headed and want to go and do their own thing. And you can try to pull them all you want, but they're going to do what they're going to do. So yes, I agree with that to a point. And you can always try to talk sense into these people, but when people are drinking and having a good time, they don't really listen to sense. Like we've all been there. So there's been times I've tried to get my friends to go with me and it's just like, no, it's not going to happen. So, and I feel like, again, he's a young guy. He's going to do what he wants to do. That's what he kept telling me. Like I was going to do what I wanted to do, period. That's his personality. So I agree with that. But at the same time, you can't force people to do certain things or you can't make them if they're just not going to. Same thing with Kylie. I don't know if anybody tried to take her keys or whatnot, but we have to understand too that everything is kind of destined. No matter what we do, the things are set into motion. So we all have a time and place, right? But there's certain things that happen that cause that. Once he took off, he set everything into motion, and I'm pretty sure we were in the shadow period of the Mars Uranus accident. Somebody said like the algal was right there to like for the drinking. So he did go missing from a national calls friend from a national. See, I didn't know he was in a national park when he went missing. So that would validate the hiking buddy thing that I saw. And Lizzie, yes, I have that map, but I don't have. I need it like the map that I see to like see where all the things are. They're putting like a map like how it really looks, but I need like I just did one. I just did a world events auto rate. You guys, there's a playlist for everything too. So there was more than one reading done on Jay as well. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like there's been times I've tried to get friends to come with me and they won't come. So you can't force people, unfortunately. I need a map that like shows like exact like because what I'm comparing it to is the I want to I think I'm on the other side of my pendulum though, but I think it's pretty close. Yep, always check the playlist. There's a future world events playlist, I think. Something already happened. They did put the flags at half mast in Pennsylvania, but I don't know if that's why I got that. But I kind of described who was put for vice president today for Trump. But I think he might end up being president eventually. Just, I don't like to throw those out there, but that's the way they made me feel. Because we also have, like, Pluto is in Aquarius. It's going to hit Capricorn one more time, and then it's going to go back into Aquarius. It's been in Capricorn. Therefore, old people have been in office, just saying. But when it hits Aquarius, we're going to go in the younger generation. So it does kind of match and jive. I always say spirit spot on. I just perceive the information correctly. Oh. This is the kind of map I'm looking for, Lizzie. I don't even know if we'll be able to find one because they keep releasing ones that are like of the area, not like. I'm freaking starving all of a sudden. Like this one, because I'm trying to like see, like, in regards, I should have went over this direction more. I'm betting you it's over here because it's on this side. It looks like it's on this side. So I'm betting you it's this one right here. So I'm not too far off on a map. I know it's further in real life, but we're looking at a map. Everything's closer, right? I'm thinking it's over here more. This is where I was actually drawn to, but this is where the pendulum kept hitting. But this is where I was drawn to. But the little guy. I keep saying the little hiking guy. I've never gotten that. Well, it's going to be something like, because he's going to be vice president. So it's almost like I don't even want to make the prediction that something's going to happen with both presidents and then he's going to end up taking over. So that would mean that Trump would have to be elected and then something would happen. But I'm just not going to make that prediction. I don't do politics. No, you're okay. You're all good. We kind of talked about that. Yeah, but I'm trying to. I want to see it like I just showed you guys. So I can compare. I'm betting though it's that one hiking trail on the other side going towards the ocean. That's what I'm betting because I was actually pulled there, and then it was like I don't know why I'm being pulled here because it's hard to tell. It's a map, so it's hard. Hey Jane. So yeah, I don't know. But if you go back and you listen to the very first reading, I know I mentioned water a lot, but there could be water around. It could, like I said, like drain into that area. And then into the Autowrite, like it was all pretty on the same wavelength. I just want to know how far away he was from his phone ping or how far away he was from the Airbnb. B&B. If anybody can find that information and a map like I was showing, something more like that shows like the areas better, I'd love to see it. Yeah, and the thing about that whole thing is everybody was way too calm for me in that. I'm just saying, like, no one moved. Like, I'm sorry, I hear a noise like that, I'm hitting the deck. Like, why is everybody like, ooh, ah, like, not even moving? That was weird. Secret Service is moving people out of the way just before. Like, I don't know. It's weird. I've watched several videos on that, and it just like doesn't make sense to me. But he's in danger for like another week because it's right on his midheaven. I've mentioned this before. I know, but I'm looking for miles because I was giving mile radiuses in my reading. Jay was, and the thing was, like, I was like, I almost stopped in the middle of the reading, and he's like, no, keep going. You're right. You're going. Keep going. We'll get into it. So, I kind of stop my own self sometimes. Yeah, I looked on that, and like I said, it only shows like the terrain. It's not showing like the hiking trails, or I need to see like the hiking trails and stuff, like what hiking trails it is. But I'm guessing it's that 50 hiking trail, whatever. But yeah, that's no different than I was doing a reading one day, and I had already done a reading for a family member, and I didn't know this. Like, when I do readings for people, I don't know if they're like, if they know each other or what. And unfortunately, they had lost both grandparents in a hit and run by a drunk driver. And so the first reading I did, I was getting that. The second reading, I was doing it with the grandpa, and it was like he was giving me the information differently. So he gave me like falling, like kind of like falling, and I'm out of a car, right? Or I've falling, and then there's a reference to a vehicle, and it was because he was ejected. But I kept mentioning that, and then I was like, well, was there a vehicle? So the only reason I said was there a vehicle involved, because it didn't feel like that, because I wasn't in a vehicle. And so I was like trying to describe it to this lady, and I'm talking to him at the same time, and I'm like, you have to show me things better, like. And then he's showing me vehicles, and he's like, just say it. And so I said it. It was right. So, I was questioning myself. I was questioning him because he wasn't making me feel things right. And he's like, just say it. So it ended up being that they were related and it was the same accident, everything, but it came in differently. And a lot of things because he was ejected and she wasn't, or something. So it just came in differently, the way that it felt and all of that. And I question sometimes. So spirit will literally tell me, just say it. Like, because they know how I am. Like, I go over and over in my mind. Yeah, me too. I wonder what the end of like August, September, that might be for something else. Thank you. I'm thinking like the 14 was like maybe the 14th when the search crew was coming in. And then that might be the 15th that I got on the Autowrite. They might have been in the right direction on the 14th, but I remember I kept saying like he's not where people can see him. Like, you're not gonna be able to see him. Like falling off a cliff. Yeah, Lizzie, no, I got this. Somebody just sent me the same exact map. It's not showing. I need something that shows like the hiking trails and stuff, like the map I just showed. I don't even think they have a map out like that. It's kind of frustrating me. They're just showing like the terrain, but you can't even see. But obviously it looks like he was in like a ravine or something of that sort. Like I said, I keep feeling like this rocky stuff. I don't know if that's like a gorge. I'm hearing like gorge. I don't know if it's like a gorge or a ravine or something of that sort. I appreciate that, Amy. I have respect for it too. And like I always tell people when they're like, they bang on, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it's not me, it's spirit. I just chose to listen, listen to spirit. I just chose to perceive the information correctly and all of that, and not be steered in another direction. Okay. All right. So that's why I kept getting that damn hiking stick guy. That makes sense. I'm betting it's that 51, that 50 something. And he kept talking about like the mountain I went in Phoenix. Like, that's how it is. You have to be really skilled to hike it. And so that's why he's giving me that reference. It's very rocky, mountainous, things like that. And every time I look back, it's like, I don't want to go back that way. Like, I just want to continue going forward to get where I need to go. It was like that kind of feeling. So he was using my own experiences and things like that. And then they were bringing me Kylie's case to be like, no, it's like this. There's not a bunch of conspiracies. And people still say there's conspiracy and argue with me on my mediumship. And I get so irritated because like, this is literally spirit giving you the information. Why are you going to argue with it? You weren't there. And it's not like I'm just making all this stuff up as I go along. I did a literal mediumship on Kylie so she could get her voice out because of all the crap that was going on around the case. And you still have people come and argue about that mediumship. And it's like, really? Because were you there? Can you connect to spirit? Why are you coming here and disrespecting Kylie's voice like that? Like, I'm not telling you anything she's not giving me. So that's very frustrating. No difference then. And that's why, like, I started adding, like, please be respectful of spirit's voice, because literally Jay was showing what happened and where he was. And yet you have people coming on, no, he was taken by a boat. No, this was by a boat. And I'm thinking, no, he wasn't taken by a boat. Like, that's not what the reading said. And I even say it, like, is that what the reading said? Like, what reading are you watching? Because it's definitely not mine. So I get annoyed when people like argue with the readings because it feels disrespectful to spirit to me. Not just to me, but to spirit as well. Or not just to spirit, but to me as well. Sasquatch, can you send me that link? Or if you send it to me, I can put it up right now. I can share screen that real quick. If you want to give me the link. I think you could poke the link in the comment. Juan Lopez Trail, that's apparently the only path to the sea. So that's why he kept giving me the ocean. Hey, what the heck's going on over there? That makes sense. Now, it was directional. Let me look up Juan Lopez Trail. Let me see. Do I have? I wonder if I could do. I like Google Maps. I don't really like. Everybody uses Earth, but I'm not a true. What is it? Masca. I'm probably spelling this completely wrong. That's not right. What do I type in to find that? I wonder. Let me try something else real quick. I was drawn to that San Juan place. Let's just see if we can try to find it. This one? Playa de San Lopez? Hold on. I'll show you guys and then we'll. Danielle, I am showing him respect by giving his voice. So if you watched any of the readings, you would know that Jay gave me everything he wanted to give me. So you're the one disrespecting him by by being a jerk to someone that gave his voice. So we're just gonna get you out of here. No foul play. If you watch the readings, no foul play. Yeah, I know. I've got to get off here. My mom's going to be having a heart attack, wondering why I'm not getting around. But I don't like to leave later until a little bit later, anyways, because it's too hot to put the dogs out, and I don't like to leave them in. Hold on, let me. Okay, so this is Masca right here. What is going on over there, dude? This one? Hey, that's not very far from where I circled. But I don't think this map, I was looking at this map like this. It looks like this. Is this like is this water? It doesn't even show the whole trail. The trail stops right there. That's kind of weird. I don't even think that trail goes all the way through. I think I was close. I was pretty close. It was not too far off, I guess. I don't know. This part seems kind of far off to me, where the pendulum was hitting. I think my pool was closer than my pendulum, which does happen sometimes. I don't always get pull in strong cases, in some cases either. I kind of go all over the place. Which is where at, Chantel? Yeah. Look, I look at it this way. Spirit's not going to get their voice heard unless, like, if they didn't want to tell me things, they wouldn't tell me things, plain and simple. So they tell me what they tell me as far as they give their voice, right? If they didn't want to tell me anything, I'd get nothing. I'd get black. But they are not, like, they're only in this lifetime with their family and friends for this lifetime. They're a totally different soul on the other side. Which is how many miles? And where did his phone last ping at, Chantel? So, like I said, Jay give his voice, and I just give what Spirit gives. And I'm sorry that people, if they don't like that, I don't know what to say. It's not about them. It's not about anybody, honestly, but the person that's missing or whatever. And if they want to talk to me, they'll talk to me, and I'll just give what they give. Yeah, but how much is 500 meters? And where was the phone last pinging at? Do you know that? I mean, I can look up how many miles is 500 meters. Like, okay, is it a 5-mile radius, like, from where he was? Could he have went up 5 miles and like there's like a 10-mile radius? Like, that's how Spirit was giving, because they give radius. It's not that it's gonna be 5 or 10, but yeah, that's I think that's why I heard the helicopter. It's not even a mile, 0.33 miles. But would it be like a 5-mile radius from like where he was last seen? I still can't, I know, but I still can't figure out where his phone last pinged at. Because I said he was really close to where his phone last pinged. I live in Arizona. Hey, Paul. Okay. It doesn't have to be 5 miles, you guys. When I give a radius, it's like within that miles, if that makes sense. So it'll be, I always tell people it's not exactly 5. It can be 3. It can be 2. It's just a radius, if that makes sense. Tino Rural Park. Tino Rural Park is where that was. So let me find that on the map. Oh, crap. It's not. Oh. Tino. See, I didn't know he was in a national park. Now that makes sense. Oh, wow. Okay. That makes me even closer. Look, I circled here. Wow. Okay. The pendulum was pretty freaking close. Because this is where he was last pinging. So what the pendulum was freaking, I was pulled here, and the pendulum was pulled here. So no, I don't. So look at this, guys. That is very freaking close. It just makes me wonder if someone didn't see my reading in my map and be like, well, this is where his phone ping. Look, it says the last ping was still in the Tino Rural Park area. So when you type that in, it puts you here. Because Parque Rural Tino, whatever. So put you here. So it would be he had to have been along here somewhere, right? I mean, I can show you. That's where it's saying that his phone last pinged was this area. Nature preserve. And it would be, you know, a phone can ping within a couple miles. It's not exact. So that I circled this area right here. So that's very, very interesting. I'm just trying to see how accurate my pendulum is. Because if that's right, my pendulum is very accurate. And the first ping, or the first time I did it, I got the Santiago area I was very drawn to. So it's like between both of those areas, but he was there at one point, so that could be why too. Right. And so that makes sense because I kept getting like the beach and stuff, like that was on his mind, like where he wanted to go. So that's why that would come in as like a direction and where he was headed and all of that. So that's why I kept getting like the ocean stuff. Yeah. Okay. It does cover a huge area. So we don't know exactly where, but this area that I had circled is still in the area, and I didn't even know where his last ping was. So I went off of where the B&B was. I marked that on the map, but I just printed out the map and did my pendulum thing, and it put us really freaking close. Like, I have to say that that's pretty accurate. So like I said, pendulum might not be exact spot, but it's going to put us in the area. So it did put us in the area on that, because this is where I circled right here. And this is where his phone pinged. So pretty dang close. It makes you wonder if someone didn't like look at my map and look at my last reading and kind of take that information and run with it. It's very possible. I mean, I think it's happened before. I can't get any closer. Holy crap, I can't get any closer. I don't. I'm trying to see if it won't let me do that. Dang it. I thought I could share them side by side, the maps, but it's not going to let me. I mean, still, this is in the area. It's still close. It's still close. I can't get any closer than that. Like, and the hiking trail and stuff. Like I said, I circled this is the area I was drawn to. My pendulum hit. So yeah, I mean, and this is where his phone. This is what's coming up under Park Rural Datino, and I'm probably saying that completely wrong. I apologize to all the people from that area, but I don't speak that. I don't like Google Earth because, see, I need to see all of this because this is the map I work off of with the pendulum. So the way that the person that I'm watching, they work off a regular map like this, it makes it easier to see all the places. So I like working with that because I need to see this bus. No, he fell. If you watch the reading, he fell. He wasn't unalived. I mean, that's pretty close. I like to know exactly where, but that's pretty close. Because these two names I was really pulled to, and then I was like, oh, the pendulum's hitting there. I'm kind of pulled to those names. Let me just circle it. So, I mean, I think that's the closest, one of the closest. Well, Stephanie Parzay, I had a screenshot of her area and didn't know it, and I kept posting it. So, like, I didn't know. That's not what Google says. So I don't know. I'm confused. It seems like there's different information. I mean, accidents happen, guys. I mean, come on. Just because someone falls doesn't mean that anything bad happened to them. He was literally seen walking. No, that's mask. I don't think that's right. I think the other one would be right. It was in a national park. That's not a national park. It's not coming up as that, unless this is the wrong. I don't know. That's the wrong one. So, Spirit did it. Heather Spirit did it. Yeah, the hydrated, drugs, alcohol, all of that. Yep. I mean, I don't think I can get any closer. You know what I mean? I don't think I can get any closer. Yep. And I felt like he was falling off a cliff. I posted that on the community page and it came in the reading. Yeah. Yeah, he didn't. And that's how it kind of came. Like I said, I felt like the feeling like when they made me when they put me in the woods with JJ and he's like looking around like he didn't know where he was. Like it was that kind of feeling. So he used multiple cases to reference to me to kind of understand, and my own experiences with the mountainous terrain and everything that I walked. So, yep. It's sad. It's a sad situation. You know, our young kids, like I have a 19-year-old. I don't know if my 19-year-old would ever take off like that, but some kids they just think, oh, I'm invincible. I'm out here, you know, I'm going to find my way home. And I don't think he was thinking straight. You know what I mean? I really don't. You know, when everybody's partied and how you feel the next day, he was probably already dehydrated. And I did not know that he was saying that he was thirsty on his phone call, but it does say that. It says he added he'd been walking for about a half an hour, needed water, had cut his leg on a cactus, and only had 1% of battery left on his phone. The call then cut out. Last ping was Mountainous Tino Rural Park. So, you know, needed water, that came in the reading. Like you're dehydrated from drinking anyways. And then you're out. I don't know how hot it is there. Can anybody tell me how hot it is? Right now? I know it was raining too. Yeah. Like I said, he left in a hurry. He was stressed out. So it was just a lot of things that created kind of a spiral effect, unfortunately. So we'll be putting up a validation video of this. I'm gonna get working on that. Yeah, I have a 19-year-old son. I get it. That's not what is being said. So they do think they're invincible. Yeah. It'll just be, you know, we'll just try to put a validation video. I like to do that because it just validates spirit. It's not anything about me. It's not an ego thing. It's just like, I agree with the psychosis and stuff from everything he had done to his body. Yeah. So 86 degrees. Yeah, you can get, let me tell that. Okay. So you're saying that's 86 degrees. That makes sense because it was about 80 degrees when I was hiking that mountain out there in Arizona and I was dying. And it was the morning. It was freaking hot. So, you know, and I also got a reference to like maybe hypothermia at 1.2. So, yeah. When did I do this? When did I do my reading? I don't see auras. I see them. I see people. Sometimes I see colors on people in my mind's eye, but no, I don't. Because I said this in my reading. If people listen, I see that all the time. I see that all the time. As I said, he was in an area where he could not be seen from the sky. It was rough terrain, and he just could not, like, he had fallen just so he was not seeable. Okay. I literally just had, again, and I've told this story multiple times. I worked a case. It was Joshua Tree National Forest. Gave them directions to where they were going to go, where they needed to go. They told me that it had been searched with dogs and everything. He was found in that area. people get overlooked all the time. So I even said, like, I don't even take, they searched it to heart because he was hot. He told me he took off his shirt. So if you're saying they found his shirt next to his body, that's what came in the reading. Yeah, so that's hot, Susan. I was in 80 degrees and I was dying. Like, I didn't think I was going to make it back to the car. We ran out of water. Exactly. He was winging it for real. He took off his shirt in the reading. So if they were found next to his body, that's just validation. Exactly. And I don't think people understand like how hard, like I said, when I was in Phoenix and at that mountainous area, like there's so many places the body could be that we wouldn't have seen. You're so busy hiking that and like dying of heat. It was like 80 something degrees out. Like, I could totally see, like, it's a lot, you know? Yeah. He probably took off his clothes. I mean, when you're hot, what do? I walk around with my shirt rolled up because it's too hot to wear a complete shirt. So yeah, I could see he would take off his shirt, and it does validate what he kept showing me, him taking off his shirt, walking with it in his back pocket. Then I said, wherever they find his shirt, they'll find him. He was very clear. He wasn't very strong, but he was very clear and precise in how he gave the information and took me along the walk with him. But there's no foul play here. So, I mean, who? No, they found him. That's why we're doing this. He's not alive. But when did that TikToker supposedly find him? Had I already done the reading? I think I did it 4 days ago, right? I just weird timing with the reading and the map and stuff. I don't know. Sometimes I notice, like, I'll do a reading and then a couple days later, like, they're found. It's odd. Sometimes, not always, because, you know, there's some bodies that are harder to find for whatever reason. Some criminals are better, but this wasn't a criminal. This was an accident. So, you know, yeah, it's tough. It was quick. I think it was very, I hit my head. Like, his soul was out of his body, like, before his body even felt anything. And we're never alone when we pass away. We're surrounded by guides and angels and all of that. Like, we're never alone. So, and we can see them when we're in that situation. Well, I don't think he was in his right state of mind. And he's also a kid that probably thinks he could do anything. Yeah, which makes sense because I kept seeing him fall off a cliff. If you guys go back to my community page. Yeah, I agree. Hey, Michelle. I know. But I don't think that had anything to do with this. I just think that's something that's around his situation. But I don't think it had anything to do with the situation. I know everybody's going to still have conspiracies and argue, but he was very straightforward. He took me on his path, and I'm not going to disrespect that. You know, he was very specific in the direction he took me. He was very specific in what he showed me. He was very specific in what he made me feel. So, yeah, I did. And, well, it took me a little bit to, like, be pulled to it. It was almost like I had to come in at a certain time. You know what I mean? So and again, Duncan came in, which is his mom's last name, in a prior reading. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, I have to work this case. I mean, what about her? I mean, they're into shady stuff, but I don't think that had anything to do with any of it. You'll just have to rewatch it. That's a lot. It's 2 hours. It's an hour 25 worth. You'll just have to go rewatch it. It's going to be saved, and you can go back to the readings. Yeah. I mean, and I a lot of people said like I was one of the only ones that said like this is an accident, this is what happened. Unfortunately, people get into like the conspiracy theories and all of that, and yeah. But you know, I like I said, whenever I feel the pull to it, that's when I do it because I know it's time to do it and I'll get the best information. So he really pulled me that night to do an Autowrites. I listened, I did it, and it was I almost quit at one point because he wasn't giving me, and then all of a sudden he came in with really clear, really clear. And yes, I do think he was threatened. There was threats that did come in the reading, and why he was leaving, because he was leaving, he was stressed out, he was in a hurry, and I also think maybe he wanted to go to a different area, not home, because of what he had done. Like, and I just think he got lost. I can tell you, I got lost in a bush one time. It was one of these really thick bushes. Like, we went in there. I was a kid. We couldn't get out. So when I say it's easy to get lost somewhere where you don't know where you're at, you're not yourself, you're not thinking straight. So I do get tired, yes, but not as much as I did when I was doing private readings at the same thing. You should, yes, but not when you've been drinking and you're on stuff. Yeah. I don't know. Someone's saying a TikToker found him. I don't know. We'd have to watch the TikTok video and see. What is the name of that TikTok video? I'll pull it up right now. A bush. Yes, a bush. I got lost in a bush when I was a kid. There was one of these things like you couldn't get out of it. Which reminds me of a case where a kid did get caught in a bush. And he was missing, and I was like, why am I in a bush? I'm stuck in a bush. He was stuck in a freaking bush. What light? I don't see a light, Lizzie. Nothing's going off. Oh, it's always spirit, Sharon. It's always spirit. Give me the name of that TikTok. I'll look it up real quick. Let me see. Come on. I don't want to watch you, dude. Great. That song's going again. I got a bunch on those videos yesterday. I was stuck on a bunch of those videos yesterday. That found let's see if he pops up. It's all over TikTok. Oh crap, there's thunder. I didn't get anything done yet. JJ was stuck in a bush, but there was another kid that went missing. I can't remember his name. He was down the road. He was stuck in a bush, and people like I did a reading. I didn't really do a reading on it, but I just told everybody I was seeing a bush, and he was stuck in a bush. Yeah, no, I agree. They're bad dudes. That's why he was leaving. No, I was looking for the one the TikToker that said he found him. Oh, that's Alexa. That's Alexa speaker. Hey Alexa. How are you doing today, Alexa?
I'm feeling a little despicable because I'm hanging with Gru from Despicable Me.
Hello, everybody!
And we've got exciting news. There's a new Despicable Me.
Okay, Alexa, shut up. Yeah, no, I know why they couldn't find him. Yeah, no, I should have already taken care of the goats and stuff. My mom's gonna be mad. All right, I better get off here because I've got to get around and get everybody taken care of and go see her. When I'm late, she gets mad because then I stay till like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. But my days are backwards. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. And they came the 14th. So that's why I was getting the 14. Yeah, Lizzie, I just told you. It's Alexa. Yeah. I knew it was Rough Train. That's what he kept saying. No, I know. It's the Alexa speaker. I just said that, guys. It's the Alexa speaker. No, it's the Alexa speaker. Hey, Alexa, tell us a joke.
Here's a Despicable Me joke just for you. Why did the Minions give Gru banana peels for his birthday? He needed some new slippers. And for more Despicable Me jokes and surprises, just say, enable
Yeah, that's
the
what I was saying.
Despicable
It's
Me
my
theme.
Alexa dot speaker thingamabobber. Yeah, and that's why I'm just wondering if someone didn't listen. I mean, I don't know. I just posted about that group because they were saying we're just gonna follow our dogs. We're just gonna trust our dogs. Oh, Lizzie, you know I love to do it, even though I have to force myself to do it most of the time. Almost. Close. Well, yeah, see, the 14th was when the search people came in. So the 14th came in really strong in his reading. And I think it was because that's when the search people were going to come in. And then the 15th, remember, if you go to the random world events Autowrites, which I did the day after, I got the 15th saying something big was going to happen the 15th. So I mean, this could be something big. Yeah. So, but I think the 14th was because that's when the search team was coming. And I think the helicopter was because the helicopter was going to find it. But I do think it was an already searched area or already looked at area, but they couldn't see him, which is what came in the reading. Which is why I always say if an area is searched, I don't care. People are usually still found in that area. It's just they're missed for whatever reason. But that's why I was wondering when he was actually found or spotted, because the 14th came in really strong. Which is what day? Is that the 14th or 15th? It's just going to be an accident. There's no foul play here. So I don't even think an autopsy is even going to make a difference. Oh, it's raining. Ah, crap. Ah, crap. I need to put you guys on piles. I got to go cover my hay better because it's raining on my hay. I can't do anything now. Hold on. Don't leave. My hay was getting wet. I did that with the balls when I came back in. So now I can stay here for a little bit longer because I can't go feed the goats. I can't let the dogs out. It's raining. So my mom's just going to have to deal with I'm going to be late. It'll only be a few minutes. Yeah, the 16th is tomorrow. I know. I didn't get the 16th. I said 15th. I don't know. I got something about that, but I didn't know if he was saying like he had it on him still or what. Oh, it's pouring now. Great. I have to wait. Yeah, I felt like he was there and left alive. Yes, that's what the reading said. Huh. 2:30 in the morning? Why would they be searching at 2:30 in the morning though? Thank you. It's always Spirit, and thank you for coming over to the new channel. I tried to like actually comment on there to get people from my old channel over here, but all my comments would get erased. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did start to. I did start to like stop because he wasn't showing me things clearly, and then I like my mind started to be like, well, and I was like, nope, we're going in this direction because that's what I got from the beginning. So, see, it's easy. It's easy to let social media and conspiracies like cloud your readings. It's very easy. Oh, we just have a little bit of monsoon right now, so it will go fast. I think. I hope my mom's gonna have a heart attack otherwise, but I could always go tomorrow. But I told her I had to do this, so thank you. Oh, what are you doing, Roscoe? I'm mad at you. Get out of here. My dog is like on here looking at that. Look at this dog. It's a dog. He thinks he's a cat. I don't know. He's 12. He jumped on there when I went outside to look and see what I was doing because he's nosy. And now he's just like, I'm going to watch the rain. Sorry, I got to fix my camera. Yeah, so now it's humid. Ugh, my air doesn't seem like it's working very good today. Roscoe. Lizzie, I'll tell you what Roscoe did. I'm so mad at him right now. It's ridiculous. Is that the guy that was on the news saying we could find him, blah, blah, blah? Hey, leave him alone. He's an asshole. We're a-hole dog. Oh, it's getting with it outside. Dang it. I guess good thing I didn't feed my goats because my camera got messed up somehow. Sorry. Because my hay would be wet. I'm back. I was just gonna tell you guys my electricity was gonna go out. I had a feeling. So can you guys see me okay now? I was waiting for it popped back on, it went off, popped back on, and then I had to wait for the internet. Yeah, that is odd. There's a lot of weird stuff that went on around this. No, I haven't, Amelia. I have to. Yeah, I know exactly. I know why he was missed. Like that's why I tell people, like, I don't care if the area's been searched. I don't care like anymore. Like I've seen it happen too many times where an area's been searched and it end up being right. I don't know about restricted. Oh, that was Caleb. Is that what you were talking about? Okay. Yeah, I'm back. I lost internet for a minute. And I was going to tell you guys I'm getting ready to lose internet. And I should have said it because I knew it. I knew the electric was getting ready to go out because we had just pouring for a second. Yeah. I was just waiting for it to finish raining and then I'm going to pop off here. I think it poured for a second. Is it done? Oh man, it really poured. My front yard is like that's how monsoon is. It comes really quick, it pours, and then it leaves. And it's like my whole front yard is, I think that's the most rain we've gotten. It poured fast. Dang. I'm glad I didn't feed the goats yet. Their hay would have been soaked. My whole yard's flooded. So that just shows it was raining hard there for a minute. The wind's blowing now. I had a feeling it was going to go out. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Yeah, that was, well, I don't know if that was like restricted area. No, it's okay. I don't know if it was, he wasn't really found in restricted area. He was, well, that hasn't been confirmed yet, but I did get in the auto rate that's going to be him, but we'll see. Spirit knows sometimes there's things I don't like to make predictions on, but they'll give them to me anyways. And it's like they'll repeat it till I say it. So, like the whole coffin thing, like I didn't want to say that, but it was repeating. The wind's, I might lose internet again. The wind's blowing pretty hard. No, I don't. I don't think he was injured before. I think he left because he was scared, because he might have taken something he wasn't supposed to take, etc. But no. And I do think there was an altercation. He wanted to mention that, but I don't think it was anything that would have caused this. I think he was okay other than being, from his night before. Yeah, I do need the rain because I have a well that I can't afford. I want to thank everybody for the donations you guys sent. It's not necessary, but I appreciate the tips very much. It's very much needed, so I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I was just wondering today how I was going to get a few things, so very much appreciated. Thank you, Annie. No, I mean, we did that one. I think that's good enough. It's not going to change things. Things like happen as they're meant to happen. That's people can pray for them, you know, on their own time and whatnot, but well, you don't have to thank me. Jay did it. Jay did it himself. I am just the channel. So, you know, like I tell you guys, everybody's like, oh, you did this, oh, you did that. I didn't, though. Like, I can't do it without them. Like, he decided to give me the information. He gave me the information loud and clear, and I couldn't have done it without him. So, I like to thank Jay because he gave it to me very clearly, just like Riley and everybody else that's given me very clear information. Idaho 4, it's all them. So, I mean, I don't mind being the channel as long as I don't screw it up. And this one, I'm very proud of myself because I stuck to what Spirit showed and made me felt, and I didn't go any other direction, which is very easy to do. I tried to. So that's how I know that it's Spirit, is because I'll try to like bring my own thoughts into it, but he was just very, very strong. I couldn't see it any other way. So I'm very thankful for that because they probably knew I would question it. So that's why I like Autowrites, because they're a very deep channel. I'm not really allowed to go in different directions when I Autowrite, because of how deep the channel is. It's like, now what are all the conspiracy theorists saying? They'll probably try to twist it and be like, oh, he was thrown down there. Just like they did with Kylie. Oh, yeah, somebody drove her in and then jumped out of the car. Okay, yeah, no. So cold cases are actually really hard. The energy is not very strong. And then not only that, but cases kind of choose me. I do take like what people say, but like this one, I got information on it before by getting mom's last name. Told me I was supposed to work this. I do get led in the direction I'm supposed to get because, you know, and I am only one person. I'll only be able to work so many cases. I won't be able to work all the cases. So what above article? Does anybody know when his birthday is? This dog and he is a senator. That guy that Trump picked, he is a senator. So it's interesting. Thank you, Lizzie. I was, because yes, Spirit gives me all the information, but I have to perceive it right, understand it right, and then not let my mind interfere, which is very hard for an Aquarius. But they didn't let me see anything else, so that's really all Spirit. Like, it was like, this is how it is. And I'm like, I just keep seeing him like alone out there. Like, I wasn't allowed to see anything else. I didn't even see the guys that were involved, like, or that he was staying with, you know? I don't know what you mean, John. We have more mails here today. Usually we don't get any mails. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, they're going to say he was thrown off, blah, 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 whatever. Just like Kylie. Yeah, her car was put there too. I do. Yeah, I do. I think it was just a fall. Like, he showed me what happened from when he left, and showed me and made me feel how he was when he was out there, and gave many references to it. So, there's not unanswered questions, though. He showed me. I never could see anybody involved in anything. I tried. I was not shown perpetrators. So, just like Kylie, I was not shown perpetrators. I saw her go into the water alone. This guy, I saw him walk off into the bush and unfortunately have an accident because he got turned around, lost, was not in his right state of mind. It just, I mean, shit, I have accidents in my front yard. Like, he's there to do bumps and stuff. He said it in the reading. Like, he wanted the party to extend. Why else do kids go to after parties and go where narcotics are? They can. It's in the Autowrite. If you go to, he has a playlist. Just go to his playlist and check in his playlist. There's 2 readings there. No, this was before he was found. I did this days ago. And the first reading was like a week or so ago. Anyone want to get the link for the playlist and post it in the group? Let's see. I wonder if I can do it. I think Steven's live right now too. Here we go. You can go there and look. And if you go to the information, it'll tell you when it was posted. Let's see the oh, that's the playlist. Let me see. No, it just keeps giving me the playlist. There's 2 videos on there. Videos. The one was done the first. Okay, so the tap-in cards and channeling astrology was June 29th. And the Autowrite and channeling was July 12th. I posted it July 12th. I did it July 11th. Like in the evening. So you can always go here, I'll show you. There you go. Here's the playlist. There was June 29th and July 12th. Yeah, June 29th and July 12th. I actually did it July 11th, but I got it posted July 12th. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're talking about. I'm not using his name for anything. I'm being his voice because he could choose not to talk to me and he didn't. So it's not about anything else other than his voice being heard and trying to help locate him. Hey, stop. So we're talking about the validation. No, I go to I look at their picture and go to them. But I fill the pool in. I got Duncan, his mom's last name, and an Autowrite. Look. No, this is just a live about his body being recovered. Yeah, I try to be, yeah. He just, look at, you see that light back there? That's called a spirit light. Doesn't go off unless spirit makes it go off. It's like those flashlights where you turn the back of them or touch them. So he just validated that for all of you that are watching. When I said I just try to be his voice, look. For anybody questioning that, not saying you are, John, but other people right there. I don't know what you're talking about, John. Yeah. It is about him, though. It's about him being found. I mean, I channel him. Most men are trolls that come in here. I really thought he was curious at first. But if that isn't validation right there, when I said I try to be Jay's voice and he popped that light on, thank you, Jay. I know, there's nothing. Maybe that's what we're talking about. Well, we've been into it. I'm going to have to get off here. I think it's done raining. My mom's like, you could just come tomorrow. Most, I hate to say it, but most men are closed-minded. Not all, most. And then they come here and they don't know. No, I've already said that. Watch the readings. No one's involved. Not in that way. So no, he ran off and got himself in a bad situation. It's all in the Autowrite. Go to his playlist. Go to his playlist. The cards are there, the tap-in's there, but then I did an Autowrite, which is more of what he wants to say. So it's all there. You're welcome. Yeah, I mean, we just posted the playlist, but there it is again. You can actually just go look at playlist and look up Jay, and it's all there. All of the playlists are there. Look, it's on again. And he's making it brighter. Did you see that? Thanks, Jay. Appreciate you. I'm sorry, buddy. I don't know why I got emotional right now. I have a lot of air in my chart. I'm usually very detached. I have to be to do this work, but no, that's not what my reading said. It's not what happened. Yep, we talked about that earlier. Yeah, no, that's not what happened. He was by himself. Thank you, Jay. Thanks for validating for me. He turned that because I had to turn it to turn it off. I did that with the balls right now. No problem. But yeah, it's all, his voice is there. That's why Autowrites are very deep in that way. I mean, the tap-in was correct too, but. And I also posted on the community page about him falling off of a cliff type area. So I kept seeing that for days. That was something I kept seeing for days, but I couldn't tell if it was like a cliff by the water or a regular like cliff ravine, something like that. I know, guys. I'll get you in just a second. Hey, just wait a minute. I'm going to have to get off here and take care of everybody. I think it's done raining. So I see what I'm going to keep doing. Yeah, he validated that right when I said I try to be his voice, that thing popped off. So I love when they do that kind of stuff. Yep, exactly. Exactly. For a 20-year-old. But I mean, I have a 19-year-old son. Everything in timing. We're working on that, but it's all in timing. So depends on if Saturn retrogrades that far or not. I don't know. We don't have the app to see if it's going to or not. Yeah, he made me feel really emotional. Like I said, I usually get very detached because I have to do this work. I can't bring my feelings into it. I can't bring my emotions into it. So I know if people think that I'm not saying, like, I'm not sad about it, I am. I just have to be very detached from that energy in order to give their voice, because emotions are very blocking. It will block me off. Not that I don't ever feel emotions, and if I do, I tell you guys, right? But also, like, I know that they have soul contracts and they're okay on the other side and all of that. Like, I look at it like that way as well. So I have to, because I can't do this work if I'm sitting here crying over people going missing and stuff happening to them. I have a lot of air. That's why I have a lot of air in my chart to be detached, to do this kind of stuff, to see these things and be okay with it. It's more like it's about finding the answers for the missing and all of that. So when they make me feel emotional like that, like I could feel as right now with that light, I just felt like I wanted to cry, like emotional, but it was almost like a thank you emotional. Because they do. Sometimes they'll tell me thank you. And again, unless they tell me, like, they don't have to talk to me. Like, spirit does not have to come to me and say anything to me, let alone accurate information. They choose to do that. So anybody that says I'm disrespecting them, no, you're disrespecting them by not listening to what they're having to say. And again, they are on the other side. So that's only their human life, is their family and stuff. I'm still respectful to family, but I'm going to do what spirit wants me to do, plain and simple. That's true. That's true. I mean, you would think. I mean, I would. If my son went missing, because I would be too close to the situation, I probably couldn't do much. And people would probably be like, and I think about that all the time, man, what if it was my kid? I pray to God it never is, but it's one of those things. They'll be like, oh, Psychic's kid went missing, she can't find him. It's because I'm too close to it. I can't get information on my own family most of the time. Yeah, I'm very detached. Like I said, I have a lot of air in my chart. So I have all the top 3 are all air. My Mercury's air. Like, I have a ton of air, and that's where the detachment comes from. And it just has to be that way in order for me to do this. What are you guys doing? But all right, I guess I better get off here. It's not raining anymore. I don't know what I'm doing, if I'm going to mom's or what. No, I mean, I definitely can't. I mean, I feel intuitive stuff sometimes. I mean, they don't yeah. And someone validated the fact that I said winging it. Like, that's like something that people from that area would say. So that's basically what he was doing. But I think he thought he's invincible, like most, and then he just got lost. Like, he probably thought if I just follow this trail, I'll be okay. You know what I mean? But then things happen, man. Accidents happen. Not everything is foul play. That's what people have to understand. People always want to look for a reason that something happens, right? Accidents just happen. No different than Kylie driving into the water. Accidents happen. It's not always foul play. And so I get so irritated when everybody like wants to push foul play theory when it's not always that. Like, I see it all the time where it's just accidents. And sometimes like missing people are just cars that went off the road. Like, it's unfortunately accidents happen, and this is a time for accidents. So everybody please be careful. This Mars Uranus conjunction, I've already had it happen to me. It's no joke. So be careful out there and whatever you're doing. But, and I'm pretty sure we were in the shadow. I don't know if we were in the shadow period. There's probably something going on at that time. Yeah, I'm not worried. I'm starting to like not even worry about the trolls, but it doesn't mean I don't like to tell them off sometimes. For other people that want to say things. But not everything is foul play. It's like, yeah, exactly. It's like everybody's conditioned to look for a reason for it, or they must have they must have done something. They must have had something done to them for this to happen. It's not always the case. And I get so frustrated when people want to argue with spirit. Like, they're giving their voice, they're telling you what happened, but you want to sit here and argue with it. Oh, he got on a boat. Oh, they did this to him. Oh, they did that to him. And I said, for all those comments, I'm like, you guys are watching too much conspiracy theories. Is that what the reading said? No, that's not what the reading said. So that's why I started adding, like, just respect spirit. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I'm getting. It doesn't matter if you believe it or not. You don't have to go against it. Go do your own reading. He was. Like, that's why they gave me the direction of the water, the beach, the ocean, the smell of the ocean, because that was what was on his mind. I'm going this direction. You know what I mean? So it was to head me in that direction as well. But that was also on his mind. So that's why that came through. Because I'm like, oh, that's kind of far. I don't think he could have made that. But he was still going that direction. He was still thinking about it, all of that. So. All right, but I'm going to get off here now. My mom's probably going to be mad. I'm going to try to get it around really quick and see. I'm supposed to leave the house today. I'm not supposed to stay around the house because that's where it's hitting as my 4th house of home. So I appreciate everybody. We'll try to do a validation video soon. I'll try to get some more stuff up. Thank you for your love and support as always and being a part of this channel. You are, sincerely appreciated. Don't forget to hit the like button on the way out. If you want to click the share and copy button, even if you don't share it, that helps the algorithm. Leave me a cool comment, and I will see you guys next time.